Alistair has not made it past the third pick the entirety of this series.
Yeah, usually Unicorns will not pick it up in return. However, Annie was good for Hylissang, and they had complete control of the game. Just because they lost
doesn't make the champion less valuable. So for Unicorns of Love, Annie or Alistair, when they want to deny Jankos, goes back to the Elise. It was stolen away from him in the previous game, and Horo had a pretty good early game, to be honest. He was ganking effectively, pulling the attention of the rest of the team.
Okay.
And that's a very early Varus.
Very early Varus with the Alistair, though. So not having the Janna to boost up that poke. So take the Alistair away from Vander. Opening with Varus. Peculiar, honestly, to go that way. Let's see why. What have the Unicorns up their sleeves? One thing that has changed is Sivir and Kalista are finally both out. This could be a flex Varus.
It could be, but I also want to highlight Nukeduck ran Yasuo into Pepinero's Varus in the tiebreaker game. There's a knock-up from Braum, there's a knock-up from Maokai. If this goes mid, he could go Yasuo.
Speaking about countering Varus with walls and shields that block projectiles, Hylissang was the guy that played Braum into the poke meta to counter it initially. Vander watched that game in depth and says, hey, I too can play that game. Now locks in the Braum. Fantastic champion, by the way. Underplayed in Europe. He will come out big on the world stage. China and Korea are going crazy about him. Very high in pick order. Lanes well into Alistair too, with the stuns there. So that's not going to happen. That's Annie. Not going to make that mistake again.
Corki is available if Rolls wants to go that route. You've got some magic damage from the mid laner. If Rolls goes Corki, could open up for Jace, a Yasuo mid lane. Or Rolls could go something more AD focused and allow Nukeduck just to run Victor again, he run exceptionally well.
I want to see the Yasuo and then the Riven mid counter, something crazy. I don't even know if it's a counter, but it sounds like it.
It sounds like it.
It's melee against melee. Not really. Alright. Double knock-up setup for the Yasuo, as you said, but just that is very heavy melee range composition, though. You're outranged by a significant margin. And you get sieged on pretty hard because you have no wave clear if you go for the Yasuo combo. Unless you can rotate your AD carry mid with a lot of wave clear. That could be the Corki that you were talking about. Of Love. I want to see this Varus be flexed. I want to see it come out in mid. Tribute to Yellow Pete and Genja back in the day.
Nukeduck could also run Corki mid like he did earlier in the series.
Or just Kog'Maw mid. AP Kog'Maw. This is technically a double flex. We don't know what's going mid.
Do they lock it in though? That's the question. 5 seconds left. This is game 5 in the quarterfinal. Kog and Corki.
So Roccat tell Unicorns we're going to run poke in the mid lane and it'll be magic damage based, but which one?
Yeah.
Perhaps Roccat don't even know it yet either.
There would be a hint of beautiful irony if an AP Cog is what sends Unicorns of Love out of the playoffs, considering Power of Evil's love for the champion.
They're hovering mid lane champion, so this may actually be the Varus. And
well, you know what's even smarter? Sivir's banned, Kallista's banned, take 2 AD carries. What's left for Vardex?
Perhaps... Oh. Ooh. Perhaps it was predicted all along. Is this Unicorns... Who's mind gaming who at this point? I mean, Vardex has played a lot of Jinx back in the day, but playing Jinx into Braum, Maokai, and having to get to Kog'Maw?
Just as a note,
tough task.
0-3 on Jinx in the summer
Varus
split.
AD carry, because this may have not been the preconceived plan by Unicorns of Love, but at least it was the option, because now they can go Orianna mid, shield up against the poke, and find an opening. Roccat with a very interesting double poke composition. Not quite traditional. They have up until 20 seconds by LCS regulations to switch the champions in their final positions.
15 seconds before we see that rounding out. For Unicorns of Love, they have poke, they have team fights, they have wave clear. There's a lot of options they can do, but they have a low mobility mid and AD carry.
Honestly, I think the Corki mid is the better approach. I think Braum, Kog'Maw is very strong lane. Because you can proc those Braum passives if you connect the Q from Braum and you apply that 4 double shot that you need to proc very easily with the massive range that Kog'Maw has. Past 20 seconds, it's going to be Kog'Maw AD carry. That lane scales very beautifully until level 6. Safe all-in potential, I'm going to call it. And yeah, medium range here. And good zone control then on the side of the Unicorns. Again, this may be a matchup where we're going to see a lot of dragon fights. A little slower though. Every time we've played AD Kog'Maw on the side of Roccat, they've lost 0-2 in the series so far because they lost the lane pressure. Can they pressure the bot lane right now?
We'll find out, because Roccat did build that full AD mid lane. It was Triforce into Blade of the Ruined King.
But it's still not full AD because it's a Corki.
Yeah. Mixed AD. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the last time I will ask you to do this tonight. It is game 5 of the series. Roccat or Unicorns of Love? Who will advance to the semi-finals and to Stockholm, Sweden? Hit us up on Twitter and let us know.
Alright, Cleanse this time on Power Viva. I like this adaptation. I think it's absolutely necessary to run Cleanse into Braum and Elise. Vander with the Ignite. Hylissang with the Ignite. Normal Summoners.
It's also something you have to factor in, and especially Yamato Canada as a coach does it. When you watch his VOD reviews very often of TSM series over in North America, he keeps talking about the strength of the 2v2 duo in the top lane. The CC is obviously advantageous to Steve and Jankos with Elise, you know, Cocoon into Twisted Advance knockout, but the sheer amount of damage on Gnar in Italy could prove quite cumbersome to deal with. Vander on that Braum is actually a fantastic roamer because he can send out the Q slows, and then all you need is a couple autos. He's going in for an invade.
And look at the
spotted. Is he going to steal it?
What potential? Wow, flash steal for Jankos.
I think that's worth it. I think that's legit worth it because you now pressure two members of Unicorns of Love. They're all the way at the wrong part of town. They need to get out of there, go to the other side of the jungle. Momentum on the side of Roccat. Look, these guys are still level 1. And they won't see each other again until 4 minutes from now when that flash is back up.
Adaptation, reaction, implementation. That's what Roccat have done this series. They dropped 2 games.
Oh, and look what, in reaction to that, Vander is basing. He's going to defend the bottom lane tower because that's pushing, and this will allow Steve to soak up some dual lane farm, base, and then teleport. And now they're going for the Maokai Braum dual lane in the bottom lane, and they're letting 80 Kog'Maw rather in the top lane scale with levels. Very quick level 6. Obviously, Hylissang on Alistar can't really deny all too well because he's a melee range support. The better strategical adaptation, however, this opens up for a 4v0 dive, so this wave has to be thinned out as soon as we can.
Find out if Roccat can do that. Level 1 still on Chachi. Horo just got level 2 after clearing out Crab. This ward was placed in the jungle of Roccat by UOL. Hylissang moved up, and they're going to at least steal Rockat's red. Remember, Jankos took UOL's red previously, and Mr. Rolls has been left alone in the top lane for 3.5 minutes. He's soaking solo XP.
Now Jankos is a little caught though. He went back to his jungle, then went back to the enemy jungle. Going back to his jungle, says nope, going back to the river, and I'm going back to the enemy jungle. So,
Jankos,
not quite sure. A bit in flux. Is like, what he's trying to prevent is Vizichachi teleporting to the top lane to soak that wave. He's setting up a potential dive. Now Vander wants to find Chachi, confirm that he's still level 2. Nuketo's here too.
Oh, this is an AD carry and support versus a jungler.
Stun could be good here. One more auto.
Stun's not going to connect on Mega Gnar.
But they're buying time for this top lane wave to be pushed in. Almost in the tower. It's getting in there right now, so that's what they're doing.
And look how starved Chachi's been of farm. 3 CS. Unicorns are going to invest a lot into this tower dive. They've caught Steve out. Vander has got the Unbreakable, but he doesn't have stand behind me. He can't increase the defenses, and Chachi gets first bloods.
It's simply not wide enough. The shield, of course, from Vander. Finding them in the minions here.
Oh, now Vander, he's in trouble. He's going to ignite forward. Vander's got 1. Now he's trying to get away. The Hyper's going to proc. Vander's trying to get backwards. Tower hit. Connects with Horo.
Oh, he's dead.
Horo's in
Who's going to get the buff?
Form. Who gets the kill? Going to go to Horo. And Vardax tanks the shot. That was well executed.
Yeah, good dive. No panic there. Unbreakable, obviously, makes the first damage instance applied upon you 0 damage. And the next one gets reduced. Blocks all projectiles at the same time. That was Vander's goal there. He was goalkeeping. There were too many strikers at different sides. Just couldn't get those projectiles blocked. Very close, and Steve ended up dying there. What a fantastic start.
We're 5 minutes in, Crepo. Unicorns of Love have secured 2 kills.
PoE. I guess he's just waiting.
PoE's down 10 CS to the early pressure of Nukeduck's AD carry, Corki.
If you wonder why PoE was, it looked like he was tapped out and chatting to somebody, but what he actually was doing was just not revealing on that mid lane ward, just denying information to Roccat. Small things like this just mean a lot later in the game, because that could be like, okay, damn, he's gone, he's just, you know, roaming, he's doing wolf something. Just ends up revealing himself when he needs to. Steps into the limelight right there. Vander, very roam-heavy approach this game.
As has Hillesang, actually. Both of these supports moved around a lot over the course of the series, rather. And with all the movements going on, Vardex and Hillesang have now swapped up top. They are going to be met by Mr. Rolls and Vander. You can see Jankos also moving top. Chachi finally got some farm down bottom. And we've got these Australia lanes, if you will.
Yeah, the same, but upside down. Vardex has a tier build, though. Nothing's going to come out of this one, but very scale-heavy build on the side of Unicorns. Orianna. Power People has gone tier 2 on Orianna. Went Dean's last game. They're trying to find Steve here. Steve has gotten better at dodging these ganks. We'll likely go sampling soon.
You had to say it. You had to say he gets caught.
Has gotten.
There we go. Meganar should pop. May lead into a wallop. Wait, Meganar, they're going to go for the dive. Flash forward for Horo. Third kill.
Yeah, really good at... Horo is excelling at these aggressive junglers, more so than Jankos had this series. Pee is checking, finds Nuktok. That's all he needs to do. Make sure Nuktok isn't roaming top lane. Get that information. He's playing from behind, but that's fine. His team is winning the side lanes. Look, that tower is melting up in the top lane. Jankos couldn't find that same opening that Horde just did in the bot lane. But the bot lane for Roccat, now in the top lane, is scaling pretty well.
Tower gets denied. Hillesang may find himself stunned here by those concussive blows. Is Kortak eats a cocoon, and Jankos sinks the fangs. Teleports coming in from Chachi, instantly hopping away. Decides he doesn't want this fight. Maybe to defend the tower. They're in a 3v2.
Yeah, that's fine. They can hold that wave easy peasy, but good counterplay on the top side of the map from Roccat. Unicorns, however, have the tower advantage, and that's exactly what separates them. 1,000 gold in this matchup. Power Eagle under pressure, but not losing his tower at all. Good CSing by Nuktok, though.
Wow, he shockwaves PoE. Here comes Horo. By the way, Horo's got Runeglaive completed already.
No flash on Horo.
No flash. Pounce is up, not going to get used. By the way, yeah, as we mentioned, Runeglaive already completed thanks to 2 kills and an assist. So Horo should be able to just...
Hillesang joining, they're threatening the dive. They just want to remove the wave clear from Nuktok, but still has enough mana. Vander joins in. Very, very turbulent early game right here.
This game could be determined by how effective the support's roams are. This vote started heavily in favor of the Unicorns of Love, and now Roccat. Roccat have the vote. Yamato.
That was like a golf clap. It's like, oh, fantastic, 1% win.
Do you see Yamato going crazy? His power walk is the most dramatic thing we've seen him do. But Crepa, I want to mention as we see the lanes shuffling. This series, Unicorns of Love have secured 13 dragons to Rockat's 12. This series, Unicorns of Love have secured 5 barons to Rockat's 4.
But everything
They're
that
so
counts
even.
in the end is Unicorns of Love secured 2 Nexi. And so did Roccat.
It is the 3rd Nexi that counts. Nexus, I guess, in this scenario.
I wonder if Nuktok got an extra 50 gold from that Nexus. That would have meant that he had even more gold to upgrade his trinket.
Oh, Steve. He's got Flash. He's got Vengeful Maelstrom. Chachi's going to time the gank once again. Horo and Chachi should be able to run him down. Runeglaive. Oh! You actually increased the damage, my friend.
Yeah. Don't ever flash in a straight line against Spears. Hillesang, Deja Vu on the other side of the map. He gets broke by Braum, gets stunned.
Concussive blows, connects Vander, even turns his focus to Vardex. Great heads-up play. 200 HP, but it's Jankos that gets the kill credit. Nuktak was trying to get an assist.
That could have been 2 kills there, though, if that concussive blow connected on Vardex, but he's obviously still had flash. Chachi, they kill Steve and they take his tower. They did it in the bot lane. They're doing it in the top lane right now. Will Steve ever go mid? Because then mid lane tower can get down too.
Steve's first game in the LCS ever was on a Hecarim with no flash, and he got camped heavily. Now this could be the last game in playoffs, and he's being camped heavily.
I guess that is just how the cookie crumbles.
A long way from finalizing that storyline, Crepo. But Chachi's going to secure the second tower of the game for the Unicorns of Love with a gentlemanly headbutt. Gentleman. Okay, well, the minion will do it then. Fine. Make me a liar, Chachi.
1.2k gold in the lead, Unicorns of Love. 2 towers to 1. Failed combo by Healer Sang. That's a lot of damage. Denied on Nukeduck there. Power Eagle eating some poke. Yeah, a lot of action. Last game was very, very tempered. Teams were hesitant. Now back to action here. Very turbulent early game. Towers gone down left and right. Lane swaps. Sped up early approach. Both supports. Moby Boots roaming. However, Vander has more kills that he's involved in, so he has Sidestone. Can he translate that vision to get the gold even?
Big difference in itemization as well. Chachi has opted for a Black Cleaver first, which is not what he did in the previous matchup. Went a lot tankier, went for Black Cleaver as his third or fourth item. And maybe
because he's winning so hard. He wants to get the snowball going because he needed his jungler to kill Steve. Now he can itemize in such a fashion that he will no longer need to. So then, in turn, means that Steve will need his jungler to defend against Chachi. Otherwise, Chachi will take down these towers. More towers down. Unicorns have shown that with a gold lead and more towers on the map, they excel at playing the map. Chachi's level 8 right now. Already. Highest in the game.
Difference.
Almost. Power Eagle is slightly ahead. Remember, he came out of a lane swap, so to be doing this well.
Mega Gnar is very close here for Chachi. He's going to get dove. Cocoon connects. He hops. He crunches. He's going to go Mega in a moment. Flash defensively.
Stun.
He even gets the wall up. There's a Gnar available, but it's not enough. Mr. Rolls gets his second kill of the game.
And this is why I like Braum so much as a sport. Just apply your passive once and your teammates can provide the CC for themselves. However, he buys enough time to trade mid lane tower for tier 1 on the top lane. But Rawless picks up that kill and the tower here. He's well on his way for Triforce Spike. His gold lead is even.
Ooh, that was scary. Nukeduck realizes the mistake. Defensive flash at the threat of a pulverize. Unicorns of Love, 1 tower ahead, 200 gold ahead, but even on kills.
Triforce finished already 12 minutes 30 seconds into the game.
Wow.
Oh, Mr. Rawls, that is a big spike. Look at Vardax, however. He has tier brutalizer. He's like, guys, I'm freezing this wave. I need about 25 minutes and I'll come out swinging. It's like, it's not like we're facing the most like well-scaling 80 carry on our side that actually has an early game power spike, which is kind of, you know, contradictory to itself. Kog'Maw scales so well, but he's also a Triforce carry. Obviously, he needs to have a weakness somehow that is very low mobility. Now, Vander, they see a freeze in the top lane. That means Dragon should be yours. 5 against 4, especially with such a heavy spike in the middle. And Nukeduck has to be basing on a lot of gold here because he's sitting on Phage, Components, and Sheen. Finished instant Triforce. Double Triforce spike at 13 minutes into the game. This is big.
If Horo is unable to flank and kill somebody quickly, either Nukeduck or Rolls, there's so much damage on those 2 Triforces.
Yeah, I actually think lane swapping with a double Triforce comp is incredibly smart because you speed up the global gold, but it obviously works more in favor of those with the earliest spike. Especially if you then start camping for the lane that gets less gold. You know, it's harder for AD carries to farm in lane swaps. It's a good approach by Roccat. I wonder if that was planned or just, you know, adaptation within the moment. But right now they're sitting on 2 Triforces. If they can group mid, while Vardax was slow pushing out top lane, they can actually siege his tower even into an Orianna already because Vander can block the wave with his shield.
Such aggressive posturing, and Vander does that exactly. Vardax, however, is able to get to the mid lane and will push the wave back. This game is still balancing on a knife edge. Dragon will be up in a few minutes. UOL secured the first one uncontested, but I heavily doubt Roccat will give up another, considering the strength of the composition right now.
Yeah, but you can't just all siege from the front. This is not going to work. It's too hard to make this happen. This is why we see people flanking. Get some vision left and right. Steal some raptors. Steal some wolves. Get some advantage from forcing. You know, you're hurting the cattle. under that tower. Just keep them there and then steal away their food while they're not watching. That's the approach Roccat wants to take here. Unicorns, they're hanging on though. They're scaling Athenes and Tier on Power of Evil. So
that's the traditional build we know.
that is the biggest disparity in power levels in the early to mid game we've seen this entire series. As we go on for fighter on the blue buff, Horo gets it, he gets out.
Hylissang may not be able to. Well, he's got his flash actually.
He's out. So somehow, as we're talking about this power disparity, Unicorns of Love managed to secure and steal a blue buff away from two champions that are very reliant on it, Kog'Maw and Corki. But just in terms of stats, some items give you more stats as you complete it compared to the gold put in. Triforce is an incredibly stat efficient item. Tier obviously scales, so you lose 2 tiers worth, which is 1.4k gold on combat stats, whereas you're fighting against two guys that build a Triforce, which spike in terms of gold efficiency, and then at the same time you're actually still staying ahead in gold and map control. That is impressive from the Unicorns.
Needs to equate to more control as this game plays out, because Roccat have the opportunity to punish harder.
One of the main reasons is because Chachi is ahead of Steve, and he built very early spikes, split push, control, bait people there. As long as they're dealing with Chachi instead of these weaker members of the Unicorns, that buys them time to get into the early and mid game. It secures the first Dragon 2. That buys them time to fight against potential Aspect. We've seen these games go long. Aspect will likely be on the board again this match.
At least as a threat, albeit it hasn't been secured necessarily. Horo's going for a little bit more AP as well as that Ruby Crystal. So more options where he's going to go. And Vardag's pickaxe as well. So despite being down in CS, he's, as you mentioned, 22 minutes away from having a big impact in this game.
T-minus 20 minutes, boys. But yeah, Horo again, offensively positioning, posturing, ganking, and itemizing, because again, he needs forward pressure, because we've seen this before in the series. If you lean back too much, you will fall over. Just gotta stay on one leg at least.
It's going to be more difficult now. Steve has the engage power of a Righteous Glory. He has teleport as well. I'm going to state the obvious for a moment and say that Horo is really showing some impressive games this series. There was a little bit of questions and doubts on what level of coordination would they have, because he replaced Gilius not too long ago. The Unicorns look better in almost every regard.
And last split, he was on the worst team in the spring split. Dropped out, auto-relegated. But it's good to find these good players in these worst teams. And sometimes you can even have a team with 5 good players that somehow just don't make it work. And once they split up, look at various members of the old Evil Geniuses in NA that split up. Altec, Pobelt, they're all in good teams right now. Just couldn't quite make it work there.
Sometimes the synergy just doesn't work out.
Same thing here for Horo. Fantastic performance though. Said Jankos, I've seen your release, I could do better. Said, I've seen you in Italy, I'm doing better this game. Although Jankos hasn't done bad by no means.
Yeah.
Horo has just excelled.
Just looked even better. Dragon has spawned, and Unicorns have got control.
That's the one thing. Jankos has been buying a lot more side stones, so Unicorns of Love, the burden of their vision has been solely put on Hylissang.
Teleport from Steve directly into the pit. Unicorn's going to back away.
Chachi is still pushing. They're trading tier 2 tower for this dragon. They just want to stall the retreat right now. Potential steal with spear.
No, not this time. Blue team actually secured it, so Jankos maybe miss-smiting it. Chachi's going to go Mega Gnar. Makes that tower push tad riskier. We'll see if he can, how much damage he can get.
Black Cleaver Gnar does a lot of damage and is safe because they're still basing. There's no home guards yet because it's early into the game.
Look middle as well, Cripper. UOL. They're going to take advantage of the backs from Roccat.
And not only can Chachi push this in, he can then turn into a flank in the mid lane. Vander, he can block some things. That tower goes down. I think this is the correct approach from Unicorns, because 5 dragons for Unicorns is not the win condition they're looking for. Opening up the map, getting more global gold, getting quicker to that late game that they're building is what they're looking for, because we've already passed the power spike of the Triforce. Additional global gold is more beneficial for Unicorns right now than it is for Roccat.
And all of that time allows both tier users of Power of Evil and Vardags to continue stacking. That Man Immune slowly growing. tier towards Archangels slowly building up. So UOL...
PoE has a late tier though. He finished teams first, I believe, and then went for the tier because it's only on 220 stacks right now. So that is miles away. Same for Vardex. He's sitting at 312. He's not immune right now.
Play for the late game, boys. Approaching 20 minutes. UOL maintain the gold lead thanks to the tower lead.
All right, what's next on the menu? We've seen it before in the series. It all goes fine and dandy until you run out of towers to take. And then it's hard to play out the map. But the series so far has been played on 2 lanes every game. Mid and top lane. Bot lane has, for the majority, been ignored, or it becomes mid and bot lane, top lane ignored. This is the first time we've seen one of these teams enter into a potential 1-3-1, or at least a split push, heavy split push component on their top laner with the Black Cleaver Gnar build. And I really want to see, have Unicorns practice this? Is this an adaptation, a reaction? And how will it manifest in the mid game? With 20 minutes on the clock right now. 2K ahead of the Unicorns, who traditionally are behind at this point.
Vizicachi's sitting on 2,000 gold. And that's his lead over Steve. Steve just cracked the 5K mark. You can see 7-3 there. Chachi's just picked up a Hex Drinker as well. So heavily committed to this damage 1v1. But as you say, Crapple, we need to see, can he challenge more inner turrets?
And that's the problem. If you play Maokai in the lane stop and you fall behind, usually you're tanking and can engage. Now Steve specs heavily into the engage with his Righteous Glory, but he has nothing to back that up. He will connect Twisted Advance and melt immediately. He's a glorified support at this point due to the way this game has played out. Yes, he can open up the game by connecting with Vardex or Power of Evil, but he has to make damn right that he does it at the exact right time, the exact right frame, or he will just cost him his life.
Chachi.
Yeah, this is the 1v1 potential of Vizicachi, of course.
And of course the threat of Mega Gnar in the jungle. Only from Roccat wants to toy with that. Crepo, Archangels was just completed for PoE, so at least it'll stack towards Seraphs a little quicker. But Horror's also committed to that late game itemization because he's got himself a Rod of Ages at 20-ish minutes. So...
But now last game we had Nukeduck on 1038 AP, I still remember it. He had the late game, but if his game keeps going slow, then Corki will fall off tremendously hard compared to Oriana, because he doesn't have that spike. Elise has been falling off in this series too. Elise scales slightly better in the damage department. Obviously Elise has more CC available. So everything will be on this Aralis, on this Kog'Maw. Back to the first 2 games, he has to carry these fights.
Right, Chachi's picked a fight with Steve, but the support coming in. Here comes Rawls. Is going to land a living artillery. Actually, it won't. Boydus will come out, slow Chachi down. Chachi's just gone, starting to stack up. We are going to see that smash. Here comes some support. Vander was getting chunked by Horo, but Chachi goes down. And it goes to Steve, the man who had been kept down most of the game.
And this is the correct counter to split push. You group on the laner that is split pushing and you force them to fight because they will build for 1v1s and they will therefore by proxy be weaker in team fights, in multiple team-oriented fights. Hillsang finds Jankos, knocks him back, he repels upwards, backwards, he's out. But pressure from the Unicorns in return while people are basing on the side of Roccat.
3 members of Unicorns have upgraded their trinkets already.
Fantastic.
We will track if Nukeduck upgrades his, if at all.
Just to spite me. He'll sell it at the end of the game. Try and track me now.
So Crepo, previous dragon was secured by Roccat. It cost him a tower. Some minutes until it respawns. There's a Blade of the Rune King for Mr. Rolls and a BF sword for Nukeduck as well.
I wonder what this build is going towards from PoE though, because these, you know, replacement items like Athenes and Archangels, they slow your core items, which is like Rabadons and Void Staff on most of the mages. And with that Amp Tome picked up on PoE, it looks like he's going for a 3rd item, Rylai's. So if it's for a mana-heavy, slow control mage in the mid-game.
Could also build into Death Cap as well.
Yeah.
BF and Blasting Wand. All that extra cost. But a lot of options, a lot of time to figure it out. We've not mentioned Vardag's build yet either, for a little while at least. Got that Brutalizer. Got the makings of a Last Whisper, so still building similarly to what you would on mid lane Varus.
Yep. And he wants to scale, honestly, on that Varus, because Varus kind of falls off against the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maws are stronger, so this build obviously scales very well into the late game. Oh, Hylissang flash.
Wow.
Combo. This is Baron from behind, slightly, yeah, 3-man.
His is completely blind.
Oh, they have no clue this is going. This will be Baron for the Unicorns. Fantastic adaptation, and the bravado to do this in a 5th game of a best-of-5 series.
25 minutes in.
Oh, look at the faces. I want to watch the cams for Roccat right now.
Pay careful attention. On this patch, it's a global noise. Roccat will know.
Oh, they know right now.
Oh, Steve. It's secured. Steve is going to look for an engage. He's managed to catch out Hylissang. Vander will connect with the Winter's Bite. Losing a support for Baron? Sorry, Crepo, but I'd trade you any day of the week.
Yeah. I would do the Baron in a team and we'd come out together. I thought we were a team, Trevor.
Power of Evil.
Power of Evil gets choked out here in the mid lane, but yeah, to flash in for that Baron, that is confidence in your vision control. That's what I like seeing. You know why that happened? Because they upgraded their trinkets, Trevor. Not really, because it's because they had a pink ward. But yeah, fantastic Baron by the Unicorns, and this is also because Chachi has this very offensive build with that, you know, Black Cleaver. Makes it a lot easier. Tanking, obviously, Alistar is one of the best supports for Baron because you just pop your ulti. You do more damage to it, and you can soak up so much damage. And to do this 23 minutes in the game reminds me of Fnatic, honestly.
Talisman of Ascension completed for Hylissang. Early Baron for UOL. Last Whisper.
And more
for
global
Vardag's.
gold. More global gold for these slow scaling carries that were just distracting Roccat in the mid lane. It looked like they were fighting for farm. Oh, I want to stack my tier quicker. No, I want to stack my tier quicker. Nope. They get the Baron, and now they can keep pushing. However, they're not looking to split push. They're grouping on Chachi here. Stopping
Giant minion wave built
support
up.
system here. They see the ward.
Tower should be
Science.
uncontested. I can't see Roccat defending
That's
this.
gonna melt. You need more than one unbreakable shield right there, Vander, if you want to stop that massive minion wave.
Grouping is the name of the game, despite having such a strong split pusher. There's a minion wave pushing into UOL up top. Look at the mini-map. Someone has to go deal with that. I'd like to see Chachi continue play the...
I mean, you don't have to.
Split
You
push
can
champion.
legit just straight up group in the mid lane and say, okay, we don't care about some damage on our tier 2. We're going for that mid lane. Yeah, Power of Evil. We went from 300 stacks on that tier incredibly quickly to that Archangels right now. Because he has so much mana regen, he can continuously keep casting spells over and over again. So he double mana build. Very good at scaling.
200 mana away before Vardex can upgrade to that mirror mana. Although, truthfully, he's got the core of what Varus needs. Cooldown reduction and armor penetration.
Yep, and CDR, more importantly. His piercing arrows are already on a 6-second cooldown.
And when you look at the squishies on Roccat, there's not a lot of armor on Nukeduck or Rolls. And if one of them goes down, it's going to be difficult against the damage sources of Chachi, PoE, and Vardex. If they trade like a PoE for a Nukeduck,
Yeah.
there's still 2 damage sources from UOL. That's how they can win team fights.
And you don't even have to trade. It's going to be almost a mistake to trade PoE for that Nukeduck. And even then, even if they make that mistake, they're still fine. The thing that strikes me the most is that this is a mixture between the new Unicorn and the old one. Yes, they play scaling compositions into the late game, but they're no longer waiting for it to scale. They have this super aggressive jungler that can find these openings and these kills across the map. They play their lanes up correctly. Their shot calling has been superior in the early to mid game. More foresight, more proactivity coming out of the Unicorns of Bluff, and I wonder if that's all to their jungler, Horo.
And the practice between week 9 and now quarterfinals. 2 weeks off, a stable patch for anybody that may have missed. We're on 514. We will be on 514 for all of the playoffs, including North America, which will start once the series ends. Thank you for tuning in and watching. And sorry to TSM and Gravity. I can only imagine how tense they must be waiting to play their own quarter. Or how intense our teams are figuring out who's going to close this game out. Because UOL had a similar lead in the previous game.
Yeah, this time composition and just the state of the game, it's a lot easier for them. They can go back to that Baron and do it so easily. They have so much punish for face check right now. If you walk into this team, imagine if the vision is dark, which it is right now. Roccat have one lone pink ward for the hero's flank from Steve. No home guard still finished. Frozen Heart can get in there, but he has to get by Horo poke, Power of Evil poke, and his armor that he has will get shredded. Both by the Black Cleaver and pierced by Vardax. Chachi connects. That's what we said. Gets help from his jungler, gets ahead. Now the jungler needs to come to help Steve in return. This opens up man advantage in the mid lane. Unicorns of Love, they're not sieging, they're waiting. 1 minute to Baron, that's what they're waiting for. To Dragon Rotter.
Legitimate
Baron
threat as well.
Later.
Cripple, we could see a team fight. We're definitely going to see it now. Horo got caught by the cocoon. He manages to flash defensively. Helisag's thrown down Unbreakable Will. He commits to try disengage. Will lose his life.
Yeah. Chachi's flanking. Mistake from the Unicorns. Good opening from Roccat. They know when to bite. Flash Cocoon.
Flash Cocoon! Vardax will fall! Mr. Rolls gets his third kill of the game.
Has to cleanse.
Is it going to be a stun? One more hit. It's all needed. Power of Evil's down. Roccat with 30 seconds until Dragon. They win a team fight.
And they even bring their one-man cheerleading squad in a suit. The Mauer Cannon gets hyped. 2,000 gold remain the difference, but one tower is looking to fall. Fantastic fight. This is why I like Braum. You put the passive on him, he cleanses. He still gets stunned right after. However, you have to cleanse the soul from the Braum Q. Vardax gets caught by Flash Cocoon. Should have just preemptively flashed that. And just no respect from Unicorns. They lose their jungler. Watch how Horo gets caught right here. All they have to do is bide their time, move up the Orianna ball. Fantastic. Is it going to be a Cocoon? Horo was caught earlier, actually. This is the Flash Cocoon on Vardax. Yeah, Vardax still flashes at the end. And cleanses the passive, but the mark stays on you. One more auto, flash auto from Nuketock. And I really like Braum into these compositions that can gap close forward. So you apply the passive, they flash out or they gap close out, you Valkyrie after or you flash after yourself. Eventually, he did count to 4. He gets stunned. Get the kill. Vardax
could have flashed Cocoon. Power of Evil could have flashed Winter's Bite.
Yeah.
The thing is, the gold lead...
Shoulda. If.
Here we go. Hindsight is 2020. Both used flash after and still died. But you cannot discount the level of pressure that Vizichachi is applying. He's got a very big CS lead. He's got a very big itemization lead. And he actually maintained pressure on that top lane the entire time.
And look at the score, though, for Vander right here. 1-1 and 8. There's 9 kills on the board for Roccat. He's involved in all of them. Disengages Helisang right here.
That's a great knockout! Better Shockwave! Unicorns of Love bounce back and say, screw that! They get themselves 3. They get themselves another tower shortly. And Baron's alive as well.
They can go for the inhibitor or they can peel back for the Baron. The choice is theirs. Steve and Nuketock are alive. Poke from Corki could keep them off. Powerville, you were right. He finished that Rabazon Death's Cap. Now, building out of the fantastic Amp Tome instead.
Unicorns
and they have the shield from Orianna to keep them alive. Watch Nuketock. Can he poke them off? 6k, 5k. It's dropping quickly.
Might be too late. Steve and Nuketock going to do what they can. A sapling will give some vision. Baron's down to 1.5 and Roccat wisely back out. Baron number 2 in game number 5 goes to the Unicorns of Love.
Let's watch that again.
I hope they go slow-mo.
All come to be. Look at this disengage though, into the choke point. Helisang's flash gets countered, but Jankos gets too close. He wants to trade, and that costs him his team's life. He proxies the knockup into the Orianna ball. Vander, Yanko steps forward and he wants to get his QW trade, but this puts him in headbutt range. Obviously, once the headbutt connects, Pulverize goes on 3 members instead. Hylissang had already flashed at this point and gotten disengaged by the Braum ultimate. I think that's what we talked about. It can be this close. And again, I'm putting my fingers very close to each other right now. You can't see this. Trevor can vouch for this. It can be oh so close, and that is the difference. But just wanting that additional extra trade to proxying the combo to 2 of your teammates.
And you compare Power of Evil's Orianna in the previous game, not able to find those shockwaves, to this game.
It is slightly easier to shockwave 3 knocked up targets when a Gnar is putting them in the wall too. But doesn't matter how you do it, just matters that you find them.
Send them home. There's a Chachi. Continues to play pressure on the top lane. He's picked himself up a Thornmail against 280 carries.
It's so hard to deal with that. You just have to commit more members to it. It is impossible to deal with it 1v1. Like the relenting pressure right there, it's just too much.
Repo.
Plus Baron, if they go 1-3-1, if they send Horror to the bot lane right now to buff those creeps, keep Ori in the mid lane, prevent the hard engages, counter flashes, who can get me? Stay away from that target. They're not going to do it though. They're looking for a 4-1 siege, double poke, Nidalee Varus, zone control from Orianna. Look at Chachi right now. How is he whittling on that top lane tower?
Well, Unicorns of Love putting pressure in 2 lanes again. Got their second Baron of the game.
Vander's playing catch though. He caught the arrow, caught some of the skill shot, the spears too.
Can't catch them all though, sadly.
If you get caught a lot of solo queue, Braum might be the champion for you. Put your skills to the test. Block those skill shots.
As long as you have the cooldown. There's that top lane tower.
Steve.
Look at it, what's 30% of the HP missing?
Yeah, this has to go quicker though for the Unicorns. Chachi gets caught, he's out, so he's not going to push next wave. I really think they should have 1-3-1. That's what you do though. Braum cannot be in 2 places at the same time. Therefore you split push.
Well,
finally opened up there, he got poked out.
Look at the damage on this tower. Unicorns with their 8k gold lead with their second Baron are sieging up. Teams that get 2 Barons actually win 85% of the games. There are exceptions to that rule. Roccat proved that in game 4 of this very series, and they'll need to do it again.
Baron buff is close to expiring though. Look at the comeback mechanics. How is Unicorns gonna mess this one up potentially? Can Roccat flank with Steve? Can we get a flash Braum Q, flash Braum ulti? Ruktak's out, Baron buff's out.
Look at this. Roccat looking to engage. Hylissang's gonna get cocooned, he's gonna get stunned. Piercing arrow comes through onto Mr. Rawls.
Horo's out of mana. It's the last spear he throws for a while.
If UOL can crack open the base, they do it on 2 lanes. But they may have been too greedy. Roccat hold and defend both lanes. And you do see a shockwave onto Vander, engage from Hylissang. Vardax gets the kill credit. Nuketax trying to force PoE away.
And that's not the wrong approach. They just have to get rid of Vander. He is blocking all these skill shots. He is involved in every kill that Roccat has managed to procure, and so far he's been defending this mid lane tower on his own merit. Steve's holding Chachi off well, but there's 20% remaining. Chachi says, stop this, I'm gonna get this tower.
Gonna get the tower as well. That's it. 3 minutes of sieging. Chachi now wants to try and make his way out. Gonna get caught by a cocoon, but he's broken it up, and while that happened, inhibitor down as well. UOL. All the ingredients are here. Sheepy, the rest of the UOL fan base.
There is a saying in Dutch, giving somebody a cookie of their own dough. That is what Unicorns of Love are doing to Steve right now. Big lead. They get that dragon as well. Aspect is now off the board. That was one of the comeback mechanics / win condition for Roccat. They're sitting on 3 dragons. Next Baron will be big. Next Baron bait, fundamental to closing out this game right now. Middle lane is open, you can push that in. Top lane is exposed. So Steve was fighting 1v2 because he had a tower defending him. He no longer has a tower. So have to make it a fair fight, 1v1. Banner of Command gets buffed. in the bot lane because they're going to rotate to the top lane, get deep vision control, secure the Baron. And they're looking to close out Game 5. This quarterfinal right here.
Super minions in the middle lane. Banner of Command minion in the bottom lane. Luckily for Roccat, they have 2 AD carries in Corki and Cogmore, both with Infinity Edges, Triforces, both with some sustain. But they cannot be a millimeter out of position. Because if one of them goes down, Chachi, Fury, and Vardex can finish it.
This game is a critical mass right now. The problem is they have to path to these choke points. Double sweeper gets used. Marco's lens popped on Vander as well, so vision control, they're fighting for it. There's a teleport coming out from Steve. They're looking to collapse on the top lane. He has to have home guards. He does.
He's running
This has
real
to be
quick.
Vander, Q flash and Power of Evil.
Vander, that's a great chain of corruption. It's not going to catch Steve. Steve's
go.
going to flash. He used his righteous glory. Hillisang's trying to disengage. The Glacial Fissure comes down. Power of Evil and Vardex are getting run down. Vardex will be going down. It's Nukeduck that gets the kill. Hillisang will follow suit, but look at the bottom lane. Vizichachi may get himself a tower and more. Recalls coming out.
Stop the bases.
From Roccat, the rest of UOL trying to stop it. They won't be able to. Chachi will get an inhibitor.
But he can't deal with Chachi. Chachi can even pressure this longer. If Unicorns do the math and they count who's there, we might see more because top lane is exposed. Mid lane is down. Chachi will go Mega Gnar. Bases got cancelled.
There's still not.
We'll have Mouse Sports taking on Team Dignitas EU. That'll be live from the LCS studio itself, so I'm really hyped for these two teams to meet it. You know, there's the potential for an upset. Mouse upset gamers too. Now we'll see if they can do it against Team Dignitas.
Yeah, we'll all be here to cover the action.
Yeah,
you good?
all of us
All right.
will be in the analyst. This is going to be great.
Anyway, that's it. The first round of the summer playoffs wrapped up here in Berlin, and we're finally going to hand it over to Dash and the gang in North America for their second playoff quarterfinal match between Gravity and Team Solomid. Stay tuned. On behalf of myself and everyone here at the European LCS, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you a little further down the road to the summer finals.
Teams have locked in their champions. It's time to load up the best of 5 between Unicorns of Love and Roccat. One more to attack. Red buff is ticking. That's he's come in. First blood secured. He's going to be able to pick up a kill onto Power of Evil. Vardex is getting focused out. The mine knocks him up in the air, and the fangs get sunk in from Yankos. Dredgeline, it connects on New Hillisang, he stuns up Roccat. The Chaos Storm is out. Power of Evil is running right through the back line. Nukeduck's going to get turned into an egg, but he's going to get cooked for breakfast.